Hello. Hello out there. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Wednesday pop up art studio, or sometimes we call it the virtual art hive. Whatever you like to call it, we're glad you're here. And we hope you can spend some time making art with us and chatting with one another and just spending some time relaxing and connecting with yourself, with other folks from the community that you know, maybe some folks you don't know. It's never a bad thing to get to know someone new, is it? Well, we're glad you're here, and we hope that you can spend some time relaxing and leave this afternoon feeling a little bit better about yourself, about the way that things are in the world. Who knows? Who knows? And if you don't feel better, that's okay too. So if you're new to our Wednesday pop-up live streams, all you need to know is that this is a safe space for people to come to create and connect with one another in person. Hey, Saul! Oh, Saul. Shelley, so good to see you here. Oh, lovely. And the artists are joining us already. This is lovely. Yeah, all you need to know is that this is a place where people can come to hang out, connect. You can make art along with me, or you can just do whatever you need to do today. I'm not the boss of you. You know what feels good to you. You know what you need to create. And who knows, maybe you don't need or want to create anything right now, but maybe you've got a pile of laundry you want to fold, or some dishes you want to wash, or some homework you want to do. You do you, whatever feels right to you. And oh, hello, Mike. Wow. So a lot of folks joining us. Well, this is so, it's so nice to see you here. It's an interesting time in our community. It's an interesting time in the global community as well. What a morning, huh? Lots of interesting stuff going on out there in the world. And you know what? If you have any thoughts or feelings about what's going on out there, I'd love to hear it. If you're working on anything or making anything, I'd love to know about it too. If you'd like to share links about to the things you're working on, or perhaps even post pictures. Hello, Wendy, welcome. Uh, yeah, do that too. Why not? And if you don't or don't feel comfortable doing it during the live stream, there'll be an opportunity to share after the live stream's all wrapped up. We'll make a little kind of show and tell post on the Facebook page that you can upload images and links and poetry and all the things to, because I think it's a really joyous thing, a life affirming thing to see what we're all working on, even though we can't be together during this time in the way that we'd like to, or share what we're working on in the way that we might normally do. Good things are still happening out there in the world. Good things. And you're all a part of that. So thanks for joining. All right. What am I going to do today? That's a good question, Mary. I got my coffee. Let's see. I don't know. I've been thinking about painting lately. If anyone saw those posts, is anyone else out there painting these days? I haven't painted in a long time. I've been doing a lot of watercolors and things like that, but I haven't gotten busy with the acrylics. So this week I hope to do some of that. So bear with me, I might get a little messy. I've decided to make this my official paint shirt because if I'm going to be using acrylic paints, I will get them all over me. It's just like being at the actual studio space. I will get paint all over me. It's a miracle I'm not permanently covered in some kind of art supply, glitter included. Oh, now I've just jinxed myself. Watch out for the glitter, folks. It's out there. It's out there waiting. And if there are new folks joining us today in our live stream, all you gotta know is, well, this is again a place where you can come to create and connect with one another, share your work, maybe troubleshoot if you're having issues with your work. That's one thing that we miss about being in the studio, or one thing I miss, or just being around other folks who might be creating. It's having those opportunities to check in with one another about what we're working on, to say, what do you think about this? There's something missing, or there's something more, or I'd like something else there. We don't always have those opportunities when we're working on our own. So you can use this time to check in with one another, to troubleshoot stuff. Feel free to do that too. I don't have any canvases. So I was thinking about working on this scrapbook paper. I happen to have some left over from a workshop I did a couple of months ago. And just to, combat that inner critic in me that wants things to be perfect, I might do a little bit of mixed media stuff. So I'm just going to I'm going to wing it. Hello, Shelley. Welcome. Oh, lovely. Oh, Momo. Hello, Momo. How you doing? How's Montreal doing? How are our friends in other places? And I'm saying hello to Momo in Montreal, but you know what? I'm saying hello to everyone out there who might be watching, our friends in the UK, in Europe, in the United States. Such a big day for you folks south of the border to us. Sometimes, I don't know if any other Canadians feel this way, but sometimes there's this feeling of, it's interesting being next to such a big country. And the United States, big in many ways, big, loud, noisy, colorful. It's like having a cousin who's really loud at all the family gatherings. There's this sense of, busyness that emanates. And today was a really important day for them. And I really truly hope, a turning point and a healing point for a lot of folks. I know that even I'm feeling a little bit of relief. That is, relief and hope, a little bit of hope, a little bit of optimism, and feeling a little more grounded. We can all begin working on the things we need to work on together. Oh my goodness. And Momo's saying, in Montreal, under a ton of snow, but doing good. And Saul saying, with regards to the day in our neighbors to the south, I believe an appropriate word is euphoria. Yeah, I can't, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think there's a sobering kind of quality to it too. It's nice to hear the truth spoken so plainly and simply. Yeah, so if you have those feelings, if you're carrying around the kind of relief that a lot of us are feeling, let it be present. Just enjoy that feeling while it's here and make use of it. For other folks, it might be a different kind of feeling, being confronted with, being reminded of just the seriousness of things and that sober quality of beginning that journey of healing or repairing, or a lot of us have been doing that already. But it is, it's nice to know, it's nice to feel there's some kind of common ground again on a larger scale. Maybe that's the feeling. Yeah. But enjoy that feeling if that's what you're feeling. If there's something else you need to feel or want to feel, perhaps it's an opportunity to identify what that is and work towards it. So Momo's saying, oh, today is such a great day. What a relief. And euphoria. Yes. So agreement. So far, so far. What have I got? I have all my acrylic paints, my gently used, old, abused, wooded acrylic paints here. Let's just see what we have. Yeah, I'm not even sure what color this is. I'm assuming, let's see. Oh, yep, white. There we go. It was what I was hoping it to be. I think I want some golden colors today. Hello, paint. Let's see. And truly, if folks are working on things, if you've got projects on the go, let me know what you're working on. It would be lovely to know. And there's some folks who are listening or watching. I believe we might have some of our new placement students watching and listening. So if they're out there, please feel free to say hello. Introduce yourselves if you like. We started their introductions today on Facebook and Instagram, but really, truly grateful to have that kind of support back with us in the virtual Living Room Community Art Studio. We took a break for a while during our transition, and now we're back connecting with those wonderful schools again. Such great resources out there in the community. And it's not been easy for students either. If anyone had a chance to watch the Instagram live stream we did yesterday with Daniel. Daniel's one of our older placement students who was with us a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago, now at Trent University, Durham, continuing his studies. Lovely conversation just about what it's like to be a student these days in these times, the different kind of barriers students are facing, having to work online, not having the opportunity to connect. I think all of us can relate just a little bit to what that's like. And Shelley saying, oh, goodness, I just realized that February 10th is a Wednesday, which is cool. I can celebrate my birthday with you all. Oh, Shelley, that's fantastic. Happy early birthday. Well, maybe on that day we'll connect and we'll see. Maybe we'll do some art in the spirit of Shelley. Maybe we'll find a project that we can work on that represents the heart of Shelley. That would be fun. That would be fun. Maybe work on some sculptural stuff. My phone is really buzzing right now. Interesting. Let's see. Oh, paint. Come on. Gummy paint. Excellent. Good paint to use. There we go. And since we have our fabulous students with us, another thing I'd like to ask, and as we begin expanding our online programming, I would love to learn more about what folks would like to see happening through the living room. What kind of workshops you'd like to see, what times and days work for everyone. I know not everyone has the same kind of schedule. Do I want to start painting right now? Maybe. Yes. You know what I'm going to do? Yes. Just going to get that paint on. Not going to think about it too much. I'm working a little bit bigger than I normally work today, too. Hello, Teresa. Welcome. How are you doing, Teresa? Are you working on anything interesting these days? And hoping your family to the south must be feeling a lot of interesting feelings today. Or maybe not. Here's me making assumptions. Lots of interesting feelings. And if you are watching, if you're tuning in, maybe this is your first time, again, just a place, this is just an art stream, an art hive, a place where you can hang out and make art. You can make art along with me, or you can do whatever you want to do. If you're not into making art today, if you're not feeling that creative, you can just hang out and listen to us in the background while you do other things. Just to know you're not alone out there. Even though you might be on your own, you are not alone. And that we are, in a sense, all in this together. Just doing the best with what we have to get by and to keep ourselves healthy and happy and connected. Oh, lovely. Teresa's working on pet portraits. Oh, Teresa does such excellent pet portraits. My favorite, I think is still the one you did of Lola, your Doberman, which is just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous portrait. And do you take commissions, Teresa? I'm just going to give a shout out. If anyone wants their animals painted, Teresa's awesome. Oh, good. So, and Teresa's relatives in the States, yes, they are so happy. They can breathe and feel that America is back. It's a lovely, lovely thing. Such a lovely thing. Yeah. I think sometimes speaking for myself, you don't realize how much kind of you're holding on to this tension, this fear. You don't even know that you're afraid. You don't even know you've been feeling afraid for a long time when things are stressful. Sometimes you can only begin to process stuff after you've been through it, once you're on the other side. And this might be an example of that for a lot of folks. Yeah, it seems that way. So if you're out there and you're not sure what to work on, maybe you got some stuff going on like Teresa, you're working on some pet portraits. Maybe you're studying, but if you're thinking, oh, what can I do? What kind of art can I make today? Maybe why not consider working on something in the theme of relief? Maybe something celebratory, maybe something euphoric, maybe something just to let some positive energy out from all the kind of tension and the darkness and the anxiety that we've been holding on to. It's an opportunity to try something new if you like. And let's see what I've got here. Yeah. I'm going to start adding in some other pieces just from magazines here. I was looking through, harvesting some images the other day, and this one jumped out of me. And it seems timely for today, actually. The Lotus Flower. One of my teachers, it's a common saying, but I think I heard it from her for the first time. Must emerge, I imagine it emerges from a Buddhist principle, but just purely science on the other end as well. No mud, no lotus. So without the mud, this lotus flower wouldn't be able to grow. Everything that we're going through, the goods, the bads, the struggles, the difficult moments, if we can hang in there, if we can hold on to ourselves, hold on to our hearts, hold on to our truths, beautiful things can emerge, beautiful things can grow. And I realize there are a lot of folks out there feeling, well, maybe feeling like me, feeling that struggle, that tension, that anxiety, maybe feeling the grief of change, of not being able to do what they want to do or be with the people that they want to be with. Maybe in this period of transition, you're not sure what things will look like. And that can be a scary thing too, even though there might be something positive on the other side. Sometimes it's just a little unnerving not to know what to expect. It's okay to feel that. You got to feel that. You got to acknowledge it so that you can move on to the next thing, whatever that next thing might be, whatever that next feeling might be. That's what I'm reminding myself to do anyways. There's always time for healing, always time for growth. So what do I want to do here? Let's just plop that on. Let's see, should I use a little glue to try and stick this on? Let's see, let's experiment. And what am I painting? A mixed, Teresa, I'm just painting. I don't even know what I'm painting. I think it's been so long since I've used acrylics, I decided I just gotta get stuck in again, get that brush onto the paper. And some mixed media, throw some mixed media in there to shake it up a little bit, to trick my inner critic into welcoming in precision, just letting something happen, making space for an accident, a happy accident. And it's good to see that you're taking commissions too. So Teresa says, yes, 6 commissions. You have 6 commissions right now. 5 different dogs plus 1 cat. That's amazing. And good to hear. For artists out there, any kind of artists, that's a difficult time. Our normal ways of connecting, and yeah, it's all different. All different. Any artist who relies on like being in front of people. Hello, Vanna, welcome. I'm thinking like a shout out to all my actor friends, all my theater friends. Just thinking about that change in that world, theater. Oh my goodness, what's going on? How do we recover from that? Lots of things. So if you have work out there, what a beautiful thing. Enjoy it. Don't feel guilty about it. Appreciate, appreciate, appreciate. And thank you to everyone out there who is supporting artists, who's helping all the small businesses, the independent businesses do what they can do. Am I going to do it? Yep. Wiping the hands on the shirt. Making it my paint shirt officially. And Vanna, how are you doing out there? I imagine you're back in school. Are you skipping school? I mean, really, it's none of my business, but, you know, I'm not the boss of you, but school's important. What am I going to do with this art today? Let's see. So what was I going to say? Yes, so if you are joining. Oh, Vanna says no, not skipping school. Just finished all your work for the 2 classes. Excellent. Good. Well, welcome. Let's try that. Yeah. Let's see where it goes. Sometimes in my work, I've got to make a mess first before I figure out what exactly I'm doing here. I got to feel it out. I kind of feel it out as I go. So welcome if you're tuning into the live stream now, but if you have to go, that's okay too. You're welcome to stay the whole hour and a half. We usually hang out here until 3:30 making art and chatting, but it's okay if you can't stay the whole time. If all you want to do is dip in and out for a few minutes here and there, that's all right as well. This stays on Facebook, it kind of archives, so you can always come back and watch it another time. Or you can tune into our YouTube channel and watch them there. We upload all the live stream artist chats that we do on Instagram, and we also archive these there too. So if you're hankering, if you want to revisit and catch up with all the live streams that we've done all in one place, you can tune into our YouTube page to do that. Let's see, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to put some extender on that, kind of use it like a Mod Podge, so I can begin mixing up colors a little bit more. What do I want to do there? Oops, I mixed in the extender. Maybe I'll move that page out from underneath it. Hold that aside for another time. And Alvan is saying just relaxing and getting ready for next quadmester. Quadmester, that's such an interesting term. I don't know if I had that term when I was in school. I don't even know if I know what a quadmester is. What's a quadmester, Vanna? I feel like I should know what it is. It feels like there's something intuitive about it that I'm missing. You know what? I feel like I want to... All these paints that I'm using today were ones that were donated to the living room, so I want to just take an opportunity to say thank you. I know it's a belated thank you because the studio's been closed now, what, for over 10 months? Over 10 months. we're almost coming up to the 11th month anniversary of all this stuff. But those donations continue to give. So thank you. And there will be time in the future soon where we'll need more donations. So if you got them, if there's art supplies that you're holding on to, don't worry. You'll be able to share them with us again one day. Donations are so important. So Vanna is explaining, a quadmester is basically half of a semester, 2 classes and only 3 months of each. Oh, okay. I get it. That makes sense. Thank you for explaining. Yeah, okay. I like the different options that are out there now for people who are studying and learning and growing. I like that there's not just the one way. It's been a long time coming. Sort of, I feel like we're beginning to recognize now, more than ever before, just the different ways that people learn, all of us learn, and what we need to be able to absorb information and process things in a way that's meaningful. What do I want here? Oh, that's interesting. What? That wasn't the color I was expecting. Interesting. Yeah, let's give this a bit of a stir. Vanna says, in all honesty, I find that quadmester is like the best for me when it comes to the way I learn. The 4 classes were way too much for you. Yeah, you know what? You're not alone there. And there's nothing, I think that in the past, and Vanna, I'm gonna talk like an old person now, like, you know, the old person I am. But I think when I was growing up, there was a real, and I'm still growing up, let's face it, there was such a stigma. Like, there was one way to learn, and if you weren't able to learn and study and grow in that way, that was it. And there was just a lot of stigma against, like, all of it, right? And you had to achieve things in a certain time period, and if you didn't, there was something wrong with you. And that's just all baloney. And I think any one of us who grew up in that realized that now, just in how unhelpful that mindset is, because it prevents you. It also has this false, that false idea of you get to a point in life where you stop learning, and that's just not true. You never reach that point, or at least I haven't. And Shelley's saying, I need art supplies, but if I ever get ones I can share, I will. Oh, so this is good. So shout out, and if anyone else is out there in need of supplies as well, this is a great place to shout it out too. Perhaps we can arrange different swaps or drop-offs. It's something you can do. Like, so if you see someone in the stream who's chatting and saying that they need a certain supply, feel free to connect with them over Facebook and maybe arrange a drop-off of materials if you do have ones you can share. So Shelley's saying art supplies needed are paper bags and magazines and crayons and scrapbooking paper. So if anyone out there has extras of these that you can share, and you feel like connecting with Shelley to arrange a drop-off, please do. We will get to a point where we can make workshop kits and things like that. And Shelley, the one you've described is kind of up there on the list, actually. We want to make a collage workshop kit that we can take to people, like a paper bag just with a few different magazines and some glue sticks and scissors and things like that, because magazines are getting harder and harder to find. So folks, if you do have the space to store things for a little bit longer and you have a pile of magazines that you were considering throwing out, maybe don't throw them out just yet. I mean, not the boss of you, but there are folks out there who could use them. And Saul saying, yes, I believe, so Saul's saying, I believe every day I live, I learn there's more out there to learn. It never stops. And that's it, exactly. And if I do think if I was independently wealthy, I might just continue going to school forever. I think there's such joy in discovering and learning new things and every day becoming something more of the human being I want to become. And it doesn't mean that anything else I've learned before that, it doesn't mean that that is meaningless. I still apply it and use it every single day. It's just exciting. It's just exciting to learn more about the world, to learn more about other people, other ways of life, learn more about myself. And Teresa saying, I have magazines. Great. No paper gift bags. Interesting. So someone else might have some paper gift bags. But if you want to connect and just, again, make those drop-off opportunities, how awesome would that be? Instead of taking it to the thrift store or the dump, you can take it to another human being who will be able to use it. And then Vanna's saying, oh, yeah, I got, oh, yeah. So Vanna's saying that she got pretty hammered by that sort of stigma as a person who learns a little slower than others. Doesn't mean me or anyone else similar is dumb and won't achieve their goals. People learn and grow at their own pace. Yes. Hear, hear. Cheers to that. Absolutely. Learning and growing at our own paces. Cheers to that. Oh, and Teresa's saying that you have paper, magazines, no paper gift bags, or you have gift bags. Anyways, you can connect, Teresa, if you want to connect with Shelley, and if you feel like arranging that drop off, that would be fantastic. That'd be amazing, actually. Because even a little bit can make a huge difference. I know that. And in the future, we will be having those kind of things, those workshop kits. We're working on it right now and getting everything ready. But it may still be a little while before we can get out there and connecting again on the scale we want to. So if folks can help us out by reaching out and connecting with one another individually, that would be awesome. And I feel that's one thing that does give me hope during this time too. Seeing people get resourceful, seeing people and just how resilient people can be, what we manage to survive and how we manage to thrive in spite of really difficult circumstances or experiences. It's truly, truly amazing. I think maybe it's possible that we don't always recognize it. We don't always recognize all the work we're doing either. I think it's easy when you're kind of in your own experience, it's easy to forget all the good, hard work you're doing to just keep yourself present, to keep yourself grounded, to get up out of bed every day, or even just to get up and stay in bed every day, but to, take that one step at a time, to recognize what you need for your own care and well-being in the day. It's easy to compare ourselves to other people and what we think or imagine other people are doing for their, that we're not doing. And we forget to look at what we're doing, all the amazing hard work that we're doing to be here, be present, to keep on going. So if you're out there and that's something you're struggling through, just know that the work you're doing is so valuable. And it's recognized. And we'll be here to remind you, to help you recognize it for yourself as well. So for everyone out there doing their best to just be here, to just be present, keep on keeping on. You're doing good work. And Shelley's saying, making fun scrapbooks for the kids. A silly, let's see. A silly story with child's name and their pictures on each page and using various stickers throughout the books. And also making it, excellent, a search and find book all in one. Oh, I love a good search and find book. That's a fun, beautiful thing. And a lovely personalized gift for the folks you love and care about. Absolutely. Nice. I think it was Jay, one of our volunteers, one weekend at the studio did a workshop where they made I Spy toys using kind of recycling cylinder containers from something or other, and then just filling them with colored rice that was just dyed with food coloring, and then putting little toys and trinkets and things, beads, things like that inside. And so you turn the plastic tube with all the things inside and you have an I Spy toy, and it's really fun. The funny thing was, I think the workshop was meant for kids, but it turned out that there were more adults who actually enjoyed making the I Spy toys than kids. And it's so relaxing. I still have mine. You just kind of, just turn it around. It's really relaxing, really meditative to just spend some time looking for things. And you feel really good when you find one. Even though you know it's there, you still feel really good. maybe we'll do that workshop too. Yes, asking people out there, what kind of workshops, what kind of things are you interested in seeing on the living room? Is there anything exciting, anything not exciting, anything like workshopy or live streamy, anything that you'd like to see that we're not offering? Or do you like what we're offering and you would just like more of it? It's always good to learn what times and days are best for people, because I know this time works for a lot of people, but not everyone. So if you're out there and you know of a time or a day where a live stream would work for you, let us know. Put it in the comments. And just a heads up too that our students will be starting, I think starting next week. It looks like we're going to be having some new activities on Facebook as well. So months ago, some of you might remember we had, there was a lovely like kind of activities that we'd invite people to participate in that weren't necessarily live streams, but we had like one sentence stories and things like that where people could just take a quick moment to engage in something creative online, like a mini creative workshop, just taking a pause to think about stuff. The students are going to be starting up some new pieces like that next week as well. So I think one will be involve literature and characters from books we love. Others will involve music. I think one of the students it looks like it's going to be examining kind of the artist's journey and what we go through in recognizing our artist self and sort of like seeking that kind of feedback from the community. So keep an eye out for that. I think it'll be Mondays and Thursdays and Fridays where those are posted on Facebook. So if that's your jam, tune in on Facebook and check it out. And I know I'm not explaining any of the things very well, so I'm not sure if any of the students are out there listening and they want to chime in the chat to say, oh, there we go, there's Danielle. Oh, but first I want to step with Shelley over there. So Shelley's just saying, oh, interesting, self-care silly idea that I have that Shelley's done for self-care is bubble bath, wearing your bathing suit and blowing bubbles in the bathtub. So like it's treating your bath like it's your own indoor swimming pool. I love that. I think that's a great idea. I think that's a fantastic idea. Why not? We got to make our own memories right now when things are a little limited. And that is a really fun way to make memories. That's a really great idea. Love it. And there's Danielle. So everybody, hey, it's Danielle, one of our excellent new placement students from Durham College. Danielle says, looking forward to being able to engage with the community and foster new communication. Excellent. See how awesome they are? Absolutely awesome. Oh yeah, and there's Marta. Marta is another one of our amazing placement students from Ontario Technical University saying, yes, new ideas coming soon. And goodness knows, folks, I need some new ideas. I need some new fresh ideas. That's it's always good. And the energy that the students bring is always welcome. So thank you so much, Marta, Danielle. Thank you for stepping into this next leg of the Living Room's journey with us and the community. There's exciting stuff coming. And hopefully more, like a little more of everything so that people can find more ways to connect and express themselves. And hopefully a chance for folks to get to know Danielle and Marta a little bit more as well. It was always really special in the studio getting to see, and I realize all the folks who are watching or listening today, not everyone had the chance to experience the Living Room studio that we had in person. And these students certainly haven't either. This is their experience so far. But I think that was one of the things that made the Living Room really excited. And folks who are out there who know the Living Room, you can chime in about this as well. It was like having that new energy, those new faces, the people who are, students, they bring so much to the space. And any other art hive out there, if you've had those experiences too, you know that as well. You know just how amazing it is to have fresh ideas and fresh faces and just kind of that excitement and the potential and the possibility. And I know that students were always a really important part of the experience for people who used to come to the Living Room. So I'm hoping we can continue to foster that here online and create those relationships with one another again. And Shelley's saying, yeah, Shelley, you're going to love these students. They're awesome. And Marta's saying, we could always use help. So if there is anything you would all would like to see more of or want us to explore a little more, let us know. Thanks, Marta. That's great. And folks, we mean it. Let us know. And I don't know, Momo, if you're out there, this is interesting too. Like there might be an opportunity. Let me know what you think about this, Momo, out in Montreal with the other virtual art hives. Maybe there's potential for a student exchange with the virtual art hives. Why not? Maybe there's a way we can do student takeovers and swap students for our virtual art hives. What about that idea? Oh, sometimes those things come out of my mouth. I don't know where. Oh, I'll put that one in the pocket. It's a possibility though. That's kind of fun. And Shelley's saying, I only went twice to the living room, but felt welcome, which is awesome as I am very shy. Well, we try, and you're not the only one that's very shy. I think so many people, including myself, are shy. And we live in a kind of world where we're expected to be extroverts. It's not always easy. Not always easy, indeed. And then Danielle saying, yes, yes, please. We are still learning ourselves and would love to have that helping hand. It's awesome. So amazing. And there, look, see, Marta's saying, yeah, thank you so much. We are really excited to spend the next few months on this journey with each one of you. Yeah, like the students we've had, Shelley, you're right. We've been so, so lucky. And just people who are really engaged and excited to learn and to connect with people. And such an important piece of the art hive. But people like also to do it with like authentically, like really curious, really compassionate, willing to take a journey. And just making things a little more fun too. Sometimes it's good to be shaken up or to be shook up and have your routines ruptured or the way you perceive the world, turned around a little bit. And students have always done that for me. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see. Let me get in there and get messy. And Marta, Danielle, if you're out there, what are you working on right now? Let's see. Oh, that's lovely. So Shelley's saying they were amazing and have become such amazing friends. Yeah, and hopefully the other students we've had in the past, they'll be back too. One thing I love about our students is they tend to hang around for a little bit. So because the studio space is there for everyone, because art hives are there because we're a part of the community too. Students, facilitators, volunteers, we're all a part of the community, wherever we are, wherever we happen to be in the world. So it's not like you finish your placement and that's it. You can never come back. No, we want to see you again. And we love it when folks visit. And that's why it was really lovely to talk with Daniel yesterday in the live stream to catch up where Daniel's at and how he's been doing. What can I do here? I'm feeling like I want to take a little bit of a break, but I don't know why. I might come back and add some stuff. I am loving how this is beginning to explode a little bit in color. I think I needed a burst of color today. I think I needed to work a little bigger than I normally work. I don't know if anyone else experiences that. Kind of, sometimes I can get a little scared to go big Remember, it's sometimes the same thing with acting too. You become comfortable and are scared to take risks in all the art forms, all the modalities. Be reminded to cut loose and have some fun. Discover what's on the other side, even if what we try doesn't work, even if what we try turns out to be a mistake. Oh, well, thank you, Shelley. Shelley's just saying pretty picture. It's colorful. I'm kind of enjoying this. And Marta's saying, in reply to Shelley, I think that's one of the positives with online and the virtual experience. People who are more shy can grow their confidence slowly through just chatting online without the pressure that comes with face-to-face interaction. Yeah, I would agree. I would totally agree, Marta. I think there's a real benefit to that. I think I feel a benefit of that too. And Saul's asking, can we name your work Euphoria, Mary? You know what? Yes, we can. Euphoria, subtitled, No Mud, No Lotus. You kind of have to go through the crap sometimes before you can get to the good stuff. Sometimes that crap turns into fertilizer that helps the good things grow. So, yes. And Shelley's saying, missing B. Ah, yeah, I'm missing B too. But don't worry, I'm actually connecting with B later on today. I think you're going to be able to see a little more of B in the next little while. It looks like it. Don't want to get too ahead of myself, as I tend to do sometimes. But we're chatting with B about maybe being a regular contributor to some online programming here at the Living Room. You know, slow life movement, all at a human pace. We can only do what we need to do, and taking care of ourselves is one of those really important things that we need to do. So no pressure on anybody. But B's out there, and looking forward to creating more opportunities for folks to connect with B again, because B's amazing. You're absolutely right about that. And Vanna saying, I completely agree. The online, so this is about communicating online again, in response to Marta. The online world has really helped me when it comes to my own confidence when talking with others. Yes. I think, there are a lot of folks out there desperately missing the human, the in-person connection that you can have. For a lot of others, there's been kind of a reward in having opportunities to connect virtually and expand their world. And I think if there is someone out there, because there's a lot of people, everyone is welcome here. And Shelley, I will tell B she is missed. Absolutely. But for folks out there who might be listening to the live stream today or watching, doing their own thing, it's okay that you're not participating in the chat. That is totally okay. You have to take things at your own pace. You have to do things in the way you wanted to do. And you don't always want to be seen. At least that's how I feel. You don't always want to be visible in that way. And it can take a lot to even type in a post in a chat and to make yourself, to step out into that space, which is a kind of spotlight all on its own. I appreciate the folks who are doing that, who are helping themselves to be seen and heard. If that's what you want, that's an amazing thing. And I congratulate you for doing it, because it's not always easy. But for the folks who are just listening and not ready to post or not feeling like it today, that's okay too. And I always like to remember that you're out there as well. I'm talking to the people who are chatting, but I'm also talking with you. I'm talking to the folks who might be listening after the live stream is done. Once this is archived and no longer live, I'm so happy that you're out there and taking part in whatever way you can, in whatever way you feel like it. It still matters, and you're still a part of the community. You don't always need to reach out and chat. You can be quiet. You can take care of yourself quietly and do what you need to do. That's okay. And there will be days maybe where, you feel up to chatting and you reach out and you say hi and you make that connection in a new way, in a different way with someone who's a part of the chat. That's awesome. But it's got to feel right to you. It's got to feel like something you are up to doing today. And not everyone is able to. That's just the simple truth of it. Not everyone wants to, right? Not everyone has to. Look at me. I said I was going to stop working on this, but I keep on going. That's the putterer that I am. euphoric color bursting into life. Out of the mud. And Nicole, hey Nicole, nice to see you. Nicole's saying, hi Mary, your flower looks beautiful. Oh, it looks beautiful. Well, thank you, Nicole. How are you doing? What are you working on out there? You've usually got a range of creative, crafty awesomeness happening around you. And then Shelley, oh yeah, so again about the kind of online communication. With me, I didn't communicate when in person, but when I started watching this, the live streams, I'm guessing, I didn't chat, but now I have gained some comfort. And Zooms are still uncomfortable for Shelley. Shelley's saying, but in time they too will get better. And that's a really interesting point too, like stepping out of your comfort zone into something that you feel could benefit you, might benefit you, might help you connect. Like for anyone out there who's doing that, who's pushing themselves out of their comfort zone a little bit every day, finding ways to connect, to be heard, to be seen, even when it's difficult to do so, if you're doing it for the sake of your own health and well-being, how awesome is that? That's an amazing thing. Oh, wow. Olivia, hey, how are you doing? Olivia's saying, love the colors. Hope you're doing well. I'm hanging in just like everybody else out there, doing what I can. Some days are easier than others. Today started off as not so easy, and that's okay. And just gotta, just hanging in, taking the time to do what I need to do and feel what I need to feel, all that stuff, right? And Nicole saying, you did a needle felting video some weeks back, so I tried it again. Oh, you tried needle felting again, Nicole. It's amazing. Rosemary was giving you tips yesterday. I think I'm making a dog. That is awesome. And I'm so glad you connected with Rosemary. How's Rosemary doing? When you connect with her next, say hello. Rosemary was kind of we started with oddly two Rosemarys at the living room. Rosemary Oliver, who kind of introduced our community to needle felting through the Fiber Arts Society here. And then Rosemary in the studio, who was one of our volunteers at that time, just fell in love with needle felting, and suddenly everyone wanted to do it. I never tried it until a few weeks ago. It's still not that good, but you know what? I love the texture. I love just the activity that, that kind of creation, that active poking, stabbing quality. It's lots of fun. I'm hoping to get back to it. I actually might use some needle felting in mending some of my clothes. I'm excited to try it in like more practical avenues as well, but I can't wait to see your dog. When it's ready to share, Nicole, you got it. Share it, please. I'd love to see it. I think we'd all love to see it. And same for everyone else too. Just a reminder, if you're working on something that you'd like to share, please do. Feel free. You can share it in this chat here, or you can share it in the show and tell post that we'll put up in a separate thing on Facebook right after the live stream is done. Oh, wow. And so Vanna responding to Shelley, just again, that the strangeness of communicating online, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone to chat with people here, but not necessarily feeling comfortable showing your face yet, like in a Zoom situation. Yeah, and I do think Zoom fatigue is an absolute thing. And Zoom is an interesting thing. I have my own reservations with Zoom too. Just it's a strange thing to be seen in that way and have to feel like giving that energy over to all these little blocks, all these people in little windows. It's not a bad thing. I just don't feel like it all the time. So something like this lets people engage as they feel comfortable in ways that they feel comfortable. Yeah. And you know what, Shelley? It might. Shelley's saying, I feel like if I do it, I think the Zooming as well as the chatting, it might help others. And I think it always does. I think the main point is as long as it feels comfortable for you, the sort of like, you know what I mean? There can be a comfortable discomfort. Not everything that is good feels good right away, but you'll definitely know if it feels wrong. And when it feels wrong, no. But if it feels like, if there's a little bit of excitement there, if there's a little bit of enthusiasm, a little bit of shiny positivity, deliciousness that's tempting you to try something, if it's safe and it is okay to do so, manageable to do so, you can always try it. And then you can always change it up, take a break if you need to. But I think when other people see you stepping out and trying something new, it can't help but inspire them. And that's definitely something that we see happening in the Art Hive all the time. So good on you, Shelley, and good on anyone else who's out there considering and thinking about how they might, like thinking about doing the same thing. Taking those risks so that we can feel a little more connected, a little more engaged. And Wendy's saying, my stepdaughter has used needle felting for mending and says she loves it. Wendy, I might be picking your brain about that a little bit later then, because I really, I'm excited about the potential and the possibility. And I know that needle felting wool on wool works. I'm excited to try needle felting on other things too, to make patches, but also like on t-shirt fabric. I don't know if the wool will hook into the t-shirt fabric as well to, to fill in all those little holes you get from snags and things like that. I have some t-shirts and things that I love, and it seems like such a shame to get rid of them because they have a few holes. So definitely going to try the needle felting and mending. Wendy, I can't wait to communicate with you a little bit more about this. Excellent. And Nicole saying that Rosemary, needle felting Rosemary, said hello. And Nicole's using a kit, but I think it was translated from Japanese. It's supposed to look like a dog or a hamster. I'm not sure. So when you said you think you're making a dog, is that because it's kind of right now looking like a dog, but it could end up looking like a hamster? I love that. I love that whatever you're creating might be a bit of a surprise when you get to the end of it. Art, some of the best art is like that. We think it's going to be one thing, and by the time you get to the end of that creative process, it's something completely different. And that's a wonderful thing. Sometimes it can be a shock to the system, and sometimes it can be a difficult transition, a difficult thing to accept. But if you're open to evolving with it, you can always, there's always something beautiful to make with it. Yeah, it's like a dialogue. Whatever we create, when we're creating, we're having a conversation. If we can listen to it at the same time and respond to what we're receiving from the art, there's always hope. Let's see. Oh, interesting. So we're having, it seems like in the thread, there's a lot of Zoom. Thank you for the honesty, folks. I think Teresa, again, saying, I think you're referring to Zoom too, saying I don't like Zoom either. And Nicole saying, I was talking with someone yesterday on a video and our backgrounds kept changing. Without you changing them? That's wild. I know sometimes when you're doing the virtual backgrounds, depending on what you're wearing, they can kind of shift in shape and turn into unexpected, unanticipated green screen situations where people's limbs and arms and heads begin disappearing. So Zoom is a fantastic resource, and all of those things, like Facebook Rooms, which we sometimes use, fantastic resource. But just because it's out there and just because a lot of people are using it, it doesn't mean that you have to use it. If we hold a workshop in Zoom, if that's not your thing, it's okay. That's all right. Don't feel bad if you can't come to something because it's not your jam. And then, is that Carlos? Hello, Carlos. Carlos saying, hola, I hope you're all staying safe and well, just catching up on what I've missed here. Great to see y'all on here, and great to see you. It's good to see you too. Oh, wow, well, thank you. Maybe I should, Carlos saying, love this piece. Maybe I should paint more, folks. And my finger painting here is definitely an homage to Samantha Willette, one of our early volunteers who's teaching right now, doing that online teaching thing. I think Sam is teaching drama online to 7 and 8s. That's an interesting thing. Having to teach drama online requires a lot of creativity, I imagine. But Sam would use the leftover paint we had in the studio because sometimes people they would pour themselves a lot of paint, or they think they're going to paint more than they do, and then we'd have this leftover paint, and rather than just, throwing it out, Sam always tried to use it. So we ended up, a lot of time it was just finger painting at the end of a day when the studio was, when we're tidying up. Just finger painting. And it's kind of awesome and fun to get your hands messy and dirty with paint again. I don't know, if you haven't done it in a long time, you might want to try giving it a go. It's kind of fun. And Nicole's saying, oh, just a clarification on the kit, and not the kit, not the thing that Nicole's creating with the needle felting kit. The kit is making it hard to figure out. And so you might be making a corgi. I'm in, Nicole. I want to see what you create. I think it's an adventure. Hamster, corgi, whatever it might be, I'm down. I'm down for the trip. I want to see it when it's done. You know what? I want to see it in process. Share process pics if you like. And Olivia saying, when I was in high school, my friend and I would always say, this is my interpretation of a dog. So if it didn't work out, it was okay. And Nicole saying, yes, it's my interpretation of a dog. I love that so much. So this is my interpretation of Euphoria. This is my interpretation of good things coming out of not so good situations, of hope, of light, of possibility. And Vanna saying, I gotta go make some pizza. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. Oh, Vanna, enjoy your pizza. Pizza. That's, put pizza on the grocery list. Awesome. Vanna, have a wonderful, wonderful night. Take care of yourself. Enjoy your pizza. And keep on creating. Keep on coming back. Would love to see what you're working on if you want to share it. Take care out there. And Marta just saying bye too. And Marta, yeah, so Marta and Danielle, this is your first live stream hanging out with us as new students, new placement students to Living Room. What are you thinking? How are you enjoying it? Look at how I put the students on the spot, huh? I bet they love that. Okay. Oh, I see. No, so Nicole offering some clarification again on, I really, yeah, this is, I know you're offering communication and I love it, but I am really excited about, I have a whole scenario, I have a whole script in my head of you receiving this needle felting kit and making this project. You can correct me until the cows come home, but I've already written the story in my head, and it's a movie, a feature film of you making a corgi hamster. But for those of you who are curious, Nicole says the kit comes with 3 corgi dog hamster materials. So interesting. Is a corgi? Do they consider a corgi different from a dog? Is a corgi separate from a dog? Corgi/dog. No, it's exciting. I want to see whatever you're creating, regardless. Carlos saying, ah, yes. Coming back to Olivia's interpretation comment, I used to stick a sign or speech bubble in the art piece identifying what the piece was. It never quite worked in practice. Now I'll adopt "this is my interpretation" as a mantra. I appreciate that. Excellent. And Carlos welcoming the new students in the live stream. It is awesome, isn't it, Carlos? It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I love that interpretation. This is my interpretation, because I mean, that's our prerogative as artists, but it's also the truth. No matter like what we're creating, what modality we're creating in, we have no choice but to interpret. Like, that's what artists do. We tell stories, we communicate, but we only have our own perspective from which to share that. And hopefully we do it sensitively and with compassion and curiosity and openness to learn, depending on the kind of story we're telling. But it's one of the things that makes it exciting, because, and one of the things that makes art so worthwhile, because each one of us is unique. Each one of us comes from our own unique experience, lived experience. So even if we're telling a story that seems to have been told before, it will be different. It will be unique because of who we are, and by the very nature, by the very fact that we're telling that story. And Nicole saying hello to Vanna and Marta. And Danielle too, Nicole. Don't forget Danielle. Danielle and Marta are two of our new students, and Maddie is another one who I think had to leave the live stream early. But okay, so Marta. So I challenged the students to say how they're enjoying the live stream. Marta says, loving it. Everyone is so lovely. The chat right now is very interesting. Keep the conversation going. Some nice encouragement there from Marta. And Danielle saying, so far, I've been really enjoying the energy and the conversations. Oh, that's awesome. And Olivia saying, I'm so glad. I'm glad to share my secrets. Olivia commenting on that great idea of just sort of claiming our interpretation of the piece when sharing new art or visions with others. Well, sharing art can be such a vulnerable thing, right? Sharing a piece of ourselves with people. And sometimes in art, because of the very nature of it, it's always evolving a little bit too. And depending on who's engaging with it, I think it'll always feel vulnerable. I don't think it matters how old you are or how experienced you are, how long you've been creating, what level of success you might have. I think that it will always feel a little vulnerable to share your art with the world. And Nicole saying, it's so back to the needle felting dog. It's a Shiba Inu. Now I know. Well, there we go. It's an Asian dog breed apparently. So this is awesome. We're learning so much, and I'm becoming more and more curious about this needle felting kit and the story I'm writing in my head about it. Oh, folks, now I'm getting silly. Sometimes that's a good sign. It's part of that euphoria, I suppose. It's part of that second stage. The relief and the feeling of euphoria that comes with it sometimes. Yeah, sharing our artwork, it's a privilege, and it's a scary thing sometimes. Oh, wow. How are other folks doing out there? It's 3:07, so we got around 20 minutes left of the live stream. How are folks feeling? What are folks working on at home? Is there anything you'd like to share with anyone before we leave? I know sometimes we do have folks out there who do different kinds of art. So again, art, when we talk about art, it's many different things. It's not just visual art like the kind I'm doing today. It's all different forms of creative expression. So it is poetry, spoken word, creative writing, music, dance, journaling, collaging, knitting, crocheting, needle felting. It could be filmmaking. It could be so many things. If you have something you'd like to share, or perhaps you have a website or a link to a vlog or a blog or a Tumblr, any of those things that you want to share with our community, please feel free to do so in the link. Be proud of what you do. Shine a light on what you do. And, we'll keep connecting and providing opportunities for one another to learn about the wonderful creative things that are going out there that we might not have an opportunity to stumble upon right now in the way that we used to if we were bumping into one another in person. So Carlos talking about the vulnerability. So the vulnerability can be scary when sharing art, but there's a beautiful piece in shared vulnerability, creating connections with others. It also kind of gives others permission to experience and share if they wish to as well. So too, there's an odd empowerment there, if that makes sense. I think so. I think, yeah, the empowerment from for being able to stand in your truth, even when it's a little uncomfortable or sometimes scary to do so, because no one can take that away from you. I think if that's kind of what you're talking about there, I can relate that beauty, and there's a kind of freedom in that, and knowing that you've stood and you've shared from that honest place, a freedom that no one can take away from you, a kind of an empowerment. I suppose that's what that is, empowerment. Yeah, and like sort of relating back to the other comment that Shelley was mentioning. The beauty in sharing, like stepping out into that place of like out of your comfort zone, into that new that new lived experience, the place where you haven't quite made yourself at home yet. You're maybe familiar, maybe you're totally unfamiliar, but having the courage to step out into it so that you can develop that sense of familiarity or comfort with the thing that you want to do, the thing that you maybe feel you have to do to be able to grow. What a beautiful thing. What a beautiful experience that is. And let's say, oh, so Shelley's asking, so this is perhaps in relation to the question we put out there for folks about what you want to see more of, or kind of arts activities you'd like to see. More clay fun is what Shelley's, more clay fun. Definitely on the list. Definitely on the list, Shelley. And maybe for your birthday. You were saying that your birthday's coming up in February and there's going to be a Wednesday. Is that February the 10th? Am I getting that right? Maybe we'll do clay on your birthday. We'll have a clay day. And we'll encourage everyone to bring their clay, whatever kind of clay you have at hand, homemade clay, store-bought, plasticine, earth clay, whatever kind of clay you have, and we'll just make some stuff with clay. That could be, I'd love that. And Olivia saying, the picture of Dorian Gray is one of Olivia's favorite books, and it speaks a lot about how sharing art is sharing a piece of yourself. Also about how portraits share more about the artist than of the model. I always thought that was interesting. Olivia, I couldn't agree more. There's such power in the artist's hands, in the artist's vision, even if they're creating something that represents or is trying to replicate someone else. Because the power kind of lies in the hands of the storyteller, which is why I always think being an artist, whatever kind of artist one knows themselves to be, it's such a privilege. You don't have to be a professional artist necessarily either. Just allowing yourself to be the artist you are, what a privilege. There's a lot of strength there. There's a lot of power there. I think it's good to be aware of it too. And aware of how much you're sharing with the world sometimes. Sometimes we don't know how much we're sharing. You don't realize at the time. And Marta saying it makes total sense. Very well said to Carlos. Excellent. See, you're making sense. And Teresa saying, I have been doing personalized mugs and wine glasses, so this is more exciting work. This is excellent, Teresa. You've just been a creative powerhouse over the last few months. So you know what? If you have pictures you want to share, if you want to upload them afterwards into the show and tell post I do, I'd love to see some of what you're working on. I'm sure the community would love to see it too. And Shelley says, making more perky pet jars and giving them out to help others stay encouraged. I love that. And that's working with, if I'm not mistaken, you're using clay and sort of recycled jars to make really cool, cute, fun, just character pieces for people to bring a little bit of brightness into their day. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? And Nicole says, my friend lives near a beach and collects, is it hag rocks? I'm not sure if that's hag rocks or rocks and beach glass. Over the past few weeks, a giant gargoyle keeps appearing on the beach. What? Nicole should have led with that. Wow, a gargoyle appearing on the beach. My film of Nicole, the script I'm writing in my head is now there's like needle-felted dogs and hamsters and a giant gargoyle on a beach. This is very exciting. This is very exciting. I'm loving what's happening here. I don't think that happens every day to folks. See, it's amazing what can happen in our world, even when things are so strangely restricted. There is still adventure. There is still magic. There are still opportunities to have your worldview shaken up and to surprise yourself. It just depends on what we're open and able to see in any one given moment. And sometimes you won't see anything if you don't put yourself out there, a little bit, going to the beach for your daily walk, if you have that opportunity or the ability to get out in that way. I'm lucky, like walking my dog Max. Max, it was my dog. Oh, Max. But with Alice every day, I have an opportunity to see new things. I'm so glad that Alice is in my life because she definitely shakes things up in the best possible of ways. But yeah, there's opportunities to laugh and to smile and to stumble upon those really cool and interesting things that are out there. And even inside here, like just a matter of being able to recognize those moments when they happen, huh? And let's see, Shelley's saying, yes, February the 10th. All right, it's Clay Day. February 10th is officially Clay Day, folks. Get your clay right now, or not right now, whenever you want to. And maybe I'll post a recipe for homemade, some various like versions of homemade doughs and clays that people can make if you don't have any clay on hand at home. So Teresa's saying, I walk my dog at Harmony Dog Park and somebody paints amazing mandalas on stones. I want to learn how to do those. Yes, that's a beautiful thing. All those lovely geocentric designs. You know, we can get into some stone painting here too. That's something we haven't done in a long time. So folks, all these wonderful art supplies are kind of hanging out there waiting in the world. Next time you're on your walk, you're in the park, especially before all the snow comes back again, why not see if you can find, like if you see some beautiful stones, smooth stones that you can paint on, or not smooth stones, but maybe like this is a good time before we get buried in for the winter, at least in parts of Canada, to start collecting those materials that you can use throughout the winter. So sticks, twigs, stones, like beach glass, like Nicole was saying. Take a look at the world around you and see what materials might already be there. And then when we come to it, we can make some beautiful things over the months ahead. And Carlos saying, oh, Shelley, you're going to like this. Carlos is saying every day should be clay day. Legitimately. I love using clay, love seeing others' clay work. I've not used it in forever, it seems. Well, you know what? February the 10th, Carlos, that's the day for you. Happy birthday, Shelley, Clay Day. Teresa is saying, and the mandala, the stone, the painted stones, Teresa says they leave them there for you to take. They're like little gifts, but you need to find them. So you need to find them first. Found art is one of my favorite kinds of art. And it sounds like those folks are out there giving those opportunities for people. That's a lovely thing to do as well. If you're creating things and you don't want to hold on to them, or maybe you're running out of space, think about letting your art go into the world, freeing your art to find a home in someone else's life. Like leaving stones in parks is an excellent project for people. Again, it's another way of reminding one another that we're still there for one another. We still care about the world around us. And you never know when that art might be the thing that brightens up someone's day in the biggest of ways. It seems like it's having a huge impact on Teresa's life. So if you're one of the people out there who has been painting those mandalas, those the beautiful painted stones, thank you for that. Thank you. It is appreciated. It is noticed. Thank you. Oh, okay, so Nicole is explaining hag rock. Thank you, because I wasn't sure what that was. A hag rock is a rock with a hole in it. The gargoyle, okay, back to the gargoyle. The gargoyle disappeared for a week or two, then appeared again. It's too big for her to bring home, unfortunately. That sounds like an amazing story there. Okay, this gargoyle, is it washing up on the beach? Is someone bringing it there and leaving it there, like giving the gargoyle a day out? Wow. See, look at all the stories that are around us in our own neighborhoods all the time. And hag rocks, you're right then. So I didn't realize that's what they're called, and that's an interesting name. It makes me want to research where that comes from. But I know Laura Brown is also a collector of those and makes necklaces with them. They're really quite beautiful, actually. And then Danielle saying, I also love collecting rocks and painting them as decorative pieces for my friends and family. I have quite a few of them myself, and I love going to the beaches nearby to gather more rocks for this. Danielle, I feel that sounds like a bit of a workshop. I mean, again, not the boss of you, but hey, there's that opportunity. We have people in the community saying they'd love to learn how to paint rocks. We have you know how to paint rocks. Just saying. I don't know. That sounds like it could be a workshop. What do you think, folks? Rock painting workshop with Danielle? watch this space. It could be coming your way soon. And you know, if there are community members out there who want to teach workshops, like little Zoom style workshops or Facebook room style workshops, now's the time to let me know. Send the living room an email. Give me a shout out with your idea. Again, probably workshops that only take an hour or so. Shorter is better, but it gives an opportunity for people to come together and hang out. And you don't need a lot of fancy stuff to do it. It doesn't, you don't need to have a setup like we have here. You can just hang out and make art with one another and have that opportunity to connect and create. Oh, Olivia's saying, I love the depth in your painting. I tell you, I really love using extender. I think extender is like one of those things that just lets your acrylic paints get a little gluey and kind of stretch out, but it also gives it a kind of glazed effect. And once I stumbled upon that, well, no turning back. I love it. I love using extender in my acrylic paintings just to give it a little bit more life. And let's see. And see, yeah, like the painted stones, it's interesting. Oh, let's see. So, Teresa finding the stones, Shelley does the same things with your jars, don't you? That's lovely. So maybe a jar workshop, Shelley. Maybe think about it. Maybe when you're feeling up to it, you might want to do something like that. Teach a workshop. There's plenty of folks out there who, maybe don't consider themselves teachers or ever capable of running a workshops. But I tell you, some of the best workshops we've ever had at the living room are just people who love doing one thing or some things, and they want to share it with other people. Those, that kind of knowledge or skill sharing is just really joyful and fun. It's not about being an expert in anything. It's just about being willing to say to someone, I like doing this. Do you want to do it with me? And before you know it, you have a group of folks sitting around creating with one another and learning something new. It's a beautiful thing. And Danielle revisiting the hagstones. So hagstones are so wonderful to find in nature. Sometimes they can be difficult to find, but they are said to be good luck and good protection amulets. That's wild. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I have a couple sitting on a shelf just over there that, well, now it's making me want to dig them out and make a necklace out of them to wear them. Protection amulets. I'll never say no to that. That's a lovely thing. Okay, so Danielle says, also, I would love to do a rock painting workshop. I'm hugely fond of that idea. Excellent. Well, looks like it can happen. Watch this space, folks. We'll get on it. Oh, lovely. Oh, and Momo saying, and a few people in the community would love to learn how you did your setup, Mary, a digital skill share. That's, you know what, Momo, thank you for reminding me, because that's something I've wanted to do for a while now. I mean, it requires Anthony as well, because Anthony Granny was like the other half of this. Technically, when it comes to stuff like linking different things to different things and programming and blah, 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 I'm not so hot on it. It's not because I can't do it, just because I'm really impatient and I get bored. So when that skill share happens, I would like Anthony to be there. So let's make it happen. Let's figure it out. It's not as difficult as it seems. And once you do get the hang of it, like I have, you can, do it whenever you like. So, okay, Momo, remind me about that. I need to do that. Note to self. And Carlos is getting excited about a rock painting workshop. Carlos says, it sounds like it would rock. Yep, that's good. And Momo, no, we need to worry for typos. Folks, when you're out there and you're participating in the chat, I'm just so happy you're participating in the chat. You don't need to worry about any typing mistakes. It's all good. And Shelley's considering about the jar workshop. Says considering would be interesting. That's good. And Olivia with another shout out about the extender. Extender is my savior. I don't really enjoy oil because of the smell and the mess, but I love the fact that you have time to blend with extender. It lets you do that with acrylics. So top tip for all the artists out there using acrylic, if you haven't yet had a chance to experiment with extender, give it a go. It's kind of fun. It'll add a whole new layer to your artwork. And there's Amanda saying hello. Hello, Amanda. How are you? How you doing? It's good to hear from you. It's good to see that you're out there. Thank you for participating today. And Deirdre, hello, Deirdre, and saying, yes, yes, please, Skillshare on your setup. Okay, all right. So two, Momo and Deirdre. So please remind me. And how about this for accountability? If I wrap up this live stream today, if you don't see me setting something up in a couple of weeks, send me an email at info@livingroomcommunityartstudio.org, and I will get on creating that Skillshare. Because like I said, it does involve Anthony Granny and his excellent art form, which is being on the other side of the camera and all of that stuff. So he'll be able to explain all of this much more efficiently than I will. But it's good to know a lot of folks are out there wanting to know, so we'll do that. And Nicole's saying, oh, the necklace. So with the hagstones, paint them and make a necklace. I'd love that. And yeah, and some more information about the hagstones are seen as protection amulets because it was said the magic enchantments could not stay intact across running water. And since the holes in hagstones are naturally occurring through erosion, that they adopt the protective qualities of the water. That sounds beautiful. Can you let us know what tradition that's from, or where that story emerges from? That I love that. That is beautiful. And Amanda saying she's doing okay, and Deirdre saying email again, please. Yes, it's the longest email in the world. I apologize. Wasn't thinking about it. So the Living Room's email for anyone who'd like to get in contact with us is info@livingroomcommunityartstudio.org. All one word, info@livingroomcommunityartstudio.org. And while I have difficulty sometimes responding to messages on all our different social media platforms, if you do send the Living Room an email, it's easier for me to get back to you. I may not be able to get back to you right away, but if you give me a little bit of time, I always do. I do my best anyways. Everyone, it's approaching 3:30, and I've had such a lovely time creating with you today. What do I want to do here? Do a little close-up here. Oh, thank you, Marta. There's one of my students being awesome. Just posted the email in the link. Oh, it's awesome to have students hanging out and making stuff with us again. So here we go, a little close-up of the artwork I've been working on today. What a pleasure. What a pleasure it has been to hang out and create this with you. It's been such a long time since I've had the opportunity to make art and like this and work a little larger than I normally work. I think I really needed this. And it's not quite finished yet. I'm not sure what else it needs, but I'm going to take a break and come back to it a little bit later. Maybe have a conversation with it, see what it wants, if it needs anything else. Maybe I might add in a few other elements of collage. Maybe some more leaves emerging here to kind of create a rivery. Now that we've been talking about water so much again, I'm feeling like perhaps there's more greenery that can exist there. Maybe this is a river, maybe this is a pond, maybe this is something. But yes, we've established the title earlier on as Euphoria, and with a subtitle of No Mud, No Lotus. Oh, thanks so much, everyone, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. And yes, Nicole has to go. Have a lovely week, everyone, and stay safe. Right back at you, Nicole. Stay safe, everyone. Keep taking care of yourself. Thank you for taking care of yourself. I honor the journey that we're all on today, especially on the days where it's difficult to take care of yourself. Thank you for doing it anyways. And for the folks who participated in the chat, thank you for being a part of our community. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. For all the folks who just listened and, maybe just had us on in the background while you were working, thank you for being there too. You're a part of our community as well. And, none of this would be happening without any of you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of our creative community. Oh, wow. And more origins from Danielle about hagstones. So historically they're known as adder stones, witch stones, fairy stones, holies, eye stones, but they are used in a lot of pagan traditions. So this is exciting. So folks, watch this space. Next week we're going to be starting in with some new activities with our placement students on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Look on Facebook for those to just a gentle entry point into engaging online, if you like. And keep an eye out in the future for more workshops and live streams and things like this coming your way. Maybe some more hanging out kind of art jam scenarios with folks like B coming back to visit and hang out. Oh, wow, lovely. Well, you know what? Some like Shelly saying thanks there, and the thanks are beginning to come in, but you know what? Thank you for being here, and thanks for hanging in during some difficult times. And here's to, the days may be a little dark right now, cold and snowy, but I'm looking forward to brighter days ahead. And if we keep connecting and creating with one another, taking those gentle risks, and pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones every little bit, every little once in a while, things will grow, things get better. Yeah, I don't know. Take care of yourselves, folks. And what did we say? Carlos saying, yep, I'll end on Carlos's words of wisdom again. Hope y'all have a safe week. Please be kind to yourselves out there in the world and to each other. I think that's awesome. I don't think I can top that. So, what Carlos said. Everyone, love you so much. Stay safe, take care. And until we can connect and create with one another again in person, I look forward to connecting and creating with you right here online. See you again soon. Bye.